Welcome to this week's edition of New York Now. I'm Dan Clark. This week, we're continuing our conversations with candidates running for governor and lieutenant governor in this month's primary. We're trying to get through as many candidates as we can so you know a little more about who you'll be voting for. So we're taking a break from our panel and the week's news to work our way down the ballot before the election. Another reminder that the big day is scheduled for June 28th. But first, the four Republicans running for governor held their first debate before the primary this week. It was the first time all four were in the same place at the same time since the state Republican convention in February. And each of them had a chance to weigh in on some of New York's top issues. A quick look at the debate. It's been 20 years since a Republican won a statewide election in New York, but the party sees this year as their best chance since in the race for governor. The four Republicans running to be their party's nominee in that race faced off in a debate this week ahead of this month's primary. Those are Congressman Lee Zeldin, Andrew Giuliani, businessman Harry Wilson, and former Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino. Zeldin is considered the party's favorite. He was voted as the designated nominee at the state Republican convention 4 months ago. Democrats have since tried to make abortion a key issue in this year's election. Abortion is allowed in New York after the second trimester, if the fetus is no longer viable or if the health of the mother is at risk. And when asked, Zeldin said that goes too far.
I don't believe that should be legal as it is right now. I don't believe that non-doctors should be performing abortion in this state. I believe it should be legal for there to be parental consent, that there should be informed consent. I believe that we should be doing more to promote adoption. And what I found, even though I'm pro-life, is that a lot of people who consider themselves to be pro-choice agree with me.
Andrew Giuliani has a leg up through name recognition. He's the son of former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani and worked in the White House under President Donald Trump. And when asked what he would do about the rise in crime in New York City, the younger Giuliani invoked his father's previous policies.
Are you saying we should go back to the programs that your father instituted, broken windows and stop, question, and frisk?
Yes, I am, Marcia, clearly. And I look at it this way. When you look at when stop, question, and frisk in the late 90s, when we were between 70 and 100,000 stops a year, it's when the quota system came in the 2010s, when we were stopping 700,000 people a year.
Your time is up,
it might
Mr.
have gotten out of
Giuliani.
control.
For Rob Astorino, the former Westchester County executive, it's his second run for governor. He was the party's nominee in 2014 and came closer to winning than any other Republican since George Pataki was governor. And he was the only candidate to condemn the invasion of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and say former President Trump bore some of the responsibility.
Well, look, January 6th was a horrible day in our nation's history. It was horrible to watch, and it's a stain on our country. I do think he bears some responsibility. I think most people would say that, look, we've got to move on, though. I mean, these hearings right now are complete and utter political theater in Washington, D.C.
It's also businessman Harry Wilson's second time running statewide. He ran for state controller in 2010 and lost that race by just 4 points. This year, Wilson is running for governor on a plan to lower costs for New Yorkers. And he gave a preview of that plan at the debate.
We will cut 20% of income taxes and property taxes for every person in the state. We will repeal all the regulations that drive up the cost of food, energy, and housing. And combined, Mr. Astorino went way over, combined, those things will be $3,000 to $5,000 a year in the pockets of middle-class families, a total game changer.
The four Republicans will be on the ballot later this month for the primary election. That will set the stage for this year's general election. That's scheduled for November 8th.